Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight for our Village of Alsip Board meeting. Today is February 21st, 2022, and we'll call this meeting in order at 7:32 p.m. Can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Dalzell?
Here.
Trustee Juarez? Here. Trustee McLaughlin?
Here.
Trustee Murphy?
Here.
Trustee Nava-Esparza?
Here.
Trustee Parada?
Here.
Mayor Ryan?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so before we start our reports this evening, we've got a bid opening for Parkway tree removal.
We had 4 bids come in. Our first one is from Homer Tree Care, Inc. at 14000 South Archer Avenue, Suite 100, Lockport, Illinois, 60441. They do have a bid bond. And I think this is the total. Okay, so their total is $41,310 even. That's 41310. And then it looks like they have additional charges. For additional stump removal is $250 each. They do have an emergency call-out rate for $425. And that's for the chipper truck. A lift truck is $275 and log loader $500. Semi-tractor trailer $700 with labor at $175 an hour. But their total main bid for, it looks like probably, you'll have to look through it to make sure it's everything you spec'd, but $41,310.
That's all I need.
Okay. Okay, perfect.
Mr. Frater, too, everything here, too, what the clerk was reading off is all prefaced with emergency this, emergency that.
Yeah.
So just so, I'm sure it was like you said included, but that was the breakout on there.
So the second one we got was from Pro Tree Service, but their name was not on the outside, so give me a second. John's Pro Tree Service, Inc. at 20151 Allison Trail, Mokina, Illinois, 60448. They do have a check in here. And their insurance.
I saw it on the next packet. They have the same kind of format, right?
This one, okay. All right, so that is the bid bond is included along with a check. Their total is $49,525 even. excuse me, 49525.0. And then they do all license things as well, which you can go through. Our next one is from Smitty's Tree Service at 12736 South Ridgeway, Alsip, Illinois, 60803. They have also included a check. Their bid bond is included. And their total, just had it here. Their total is $55,266 even. That is 55266.00. There goes your home field advantage. And the final one is from Desiderio Landscaping LLC at 17258 East 12000 North Road, Grant Park, Illinois, 60940. Their bid bond is included. There is no check in this one. Their total is $32,514 even. 32514.00. And those are the only bids that we received.
Okay, thank you. So we'll start with the officers' reports, starting with mine. First, I'd like to thank this Saturday the Alsip Police Department, in conjunction with State Representative Fran Hur and State Senator Bill Cunningham, featured a gun lock giveaway in the hallway up here in the morning from 10:30 till noon. I was up here with them, and I want to thank the police department and all the CSOs and the officers. I had Sergeant Gutierrez and Officer Merlot running that, and it was a good event. We had a steady stream of folks that came through the door, and we were giving away gun locks, keep guns safe in the homes, as well as some KN95 masks as well too. So that was a good event. And I won't go through it. I had a lot of mayoral appearances I was making over the weekend, and Superintendent Frater, everybody's giving you a big thumbs up. You guys did a nice job clearing the streets and stuff last week. Everybody says you're doing a great job. And also, my office from a couple of smaller residents have issues with their garbage. Again, it's the silly season right now with snow and everything else and stuff going on yet too. But we do have a new liaison to Republic Services that we can get a hold of, and he's been real responsive. He's been doing a great job for us responding. So if the residents have a problem, please let the office know. Please let my office know, and we'll reiterate your message to Republic Service. They're doing a good job, but every so often, like anything else, you might miss one here and there. And then first on your agenda this evening, report, I had an approval to attend Lobby Day in Springfield on March 23rd, including hotel stay for 2 evenings, in compliance with our village ordinance regarding expenses. I did look up hotel stay and whatnot, and it was kind of slim pickings this year. I don't know, and they just made a decision on this in the last week, actually. I would have brought this up even sooner if I saw it. But just last week, they made a decision to still have in-person Lobby Day this year, and this will be the first time we've done this to meet with our legislators in over 2 years. So I'd like to go down and meet with our legislators and talk about some issues that we're having, and certainly always thank them and ask them for some help at the same time.
Do you have an approximate cost for them here?
No, I mean, obviously, just at a glance, hotels were less than $200, but I didn't have a cost on that. But like I said, we've got our guidelines, I'll just keep everything within. Yeah, there's no cost for attendance either. A lot of the meetings and so forth are sponsored by the different COGs, the Council of Governments, and the Illinois Municipal League as well, too. Next, we have the clerk's report. Clerk Hardy.
Thank you. I have the approval of February 7th, 2022 board meeting minutes, approval of the January 2022 FOIA report, presentation and approval of the February 14th, 2022 committee meeting minutes, and approval to advertise and hire personnel to fill a second vacant position within the village clerk's office. And that is all I have, Mayor.
Okay. I was told you found one candidate so far.
We did. She has turned in all her paperwork and everything to Charles, so we're just waiting for the background checks and everything, and then she will be starting.
Okay. Next, we have the attorney's report. We have Mike Kankar with us.
No report, sir.
All right. Thank you. Next, engineer's report. Will Dolan.
Nothing to report other than we're continuing to work on our grant applications for Cook
Okay.
County, federal, CDBG. What else do we have? I think no.
That's always the CDBG that came through, sent to you folks, and so forth. I don't know, but, well, I'll just sing the same song. Yeah, I'm still interested in trying to find more streetlights and sidewalks whenever possible and stuff, so, for some neighborhoods that don't have. So, let me know if you see anything. I know you do, but if you see anything, let me know.
Will do.
Thanks much. Public forum. Did anyone in the audience wish to address the board this evening? Nobody? Then we'll go to our standing committee reports. We'll start with Finance and IT. Trustee McLaurin.
First, I have a request for approval of a list of payroll dated February 11th, 2022, totaling $448,542.51. Next, I have a request for approval of a list of accounts payable dated February 21st, 2022. From the recap, General Fund, $92,477 even. Road and Bridge, $94,051.46. MFT, $3,416.25. TIF 1, $100,000 even. Health Insurance, $105,542. IMRF, $6,838.30. Water and Sewer, $2,005,024.27. Sanitary Sewers, $1,935.70. Heritage, $65,749.38. Retiree health insurance, $56,760.44, for a grand total all funds of $2,631,794.80. Next, I have a request for approval to sign up 3 properties for the community solar project to save up to 20% on electric for those 3 properties. And then finally, a request for approval to submit an RFP for OPEB Trust Investment Services. And that's all I have, Mayor.
So, just real quick, what were the 3 properties again, Joyce? The 3 heritage properties? Okay, so what, the clubhouses or?
Yes, sorry. I'm sorry, I don't have the addresses with me, but there are 3 heritage properties that are under 100,000 kilowatts a year. Those are the properties that qualify for this.
Okay, so, I mean, I have a record, I just want to make sure the right one's there. Is it the 2 clubhouses, maybe the workshop or something, or? I know the residents pay their own
Right.
power.
Give me just a minute.
Sure, or we'll come back to it then, that's fine. And then, Joyce, I don't know if this is phrased correctly, but I know the intent, with the RFP for the OPEB trust investment, you want approval to draft an RFP?
Correct, I'm sorry, yes.
Okay.
I have a draft with me, but it's not, I mean, it's still scratched up and.
So you're going to have that for next week's committee?
Correct.
Okay, so it's approval to draft an RFP for OPEB trust investment services, right?
Correct.
Okay, because we're not submitting anything just yet.
No.
Okay. All right. let's go to the next one while Joyce is getting that. Trustee McLaurin, anything else?
Nope, that's it, Mayor.
Okay.
Thank you.
We had and just so you know, too, I met with Joyce, and I know we had a couple other department heads today. We're starting our budget meetings and so forth, and we'll have a schedule pretty soon as to when all the department heads can meet with the board to talk about their budgets, but so far, things look pretty good. Next, we'll go to the Fire Committee report. Trustee Murphy.
I have a presentation and approval of the January 22 Fire Prevention Bureau report. And next I have a request approval to dispose of an 11-year-old Imperial stove up from Fire 1. This unit has replaced by the board. Chief Richter, could you comment on this? Are you aware that if this stove is in disrepair, or is it functioning?
Functioning, but kind of disgusting at this point. You know, it's 11 years old, you know, being used 2-3 times a day over the last, 11 years. It's time to replace it. The door's wearing out on it. It's reached the end of its useful time. I mean,
Okay.
it's still working, but it's time.
Chief, what does that mean? I didn't understand this language either. This unit has been replaced by the 2% board. What does that mean?
That's the foreign fire tax.
That's what I thought. Like
Yeah.
somebody else was affording this thing.
Yes.
Okay. So I know you folks need approval to dispose of something, but is Foreign Fire buying the new one?
Yeah, they've already agreed to buy the new one.
Great. That's all I want to know. Just a couple of the trustees asked us. I'm not sure. I thought we talked about tonight. As a group, so we all understood it together and stuff here too. Okay. So Foreign Fire is going to purchase a new one. You're just asking for approval to dispose of the
To
old.
dispose of the old one.
Okay.
Yep.
Chief, I know, like you said, it might be a little, I don't want to use the word little, but obviously it gets used frequently, being, 365, a firehouse.
Right.
Is it worthy of going to an auction anywhere?
I would
No?
doubt it. It's probably worth more in scrap than it is at an auction.
Because
quite
it's a
honestly.
commercial stove.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my thing. It's a commercial stove, and
Right.
I see them all the time in 10 years old. Even
Yeah.
on offer up, they go for $650.
Yeah, I mean, we can try it, but, if you want to send it off to auction, that's up to you guys.
Okay. I just hate to throw it in the garbage. I mean,
Oh, no,
it's
we would
that-
never dispose of it that way.
I mean, does it have?
Actually, the paperwork says garbage.
Yeah.
No, we would send it over to the scrap yard. It's worth way more there.
Okay, but I'm saying, is it worthy of, like, a donation if there's a cause that needs?
I mean, if there was somebody that wanted it, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it needs some work. Got to fix the door on it. The springs have gone bad in it.
Okay.
Does need some maintenance.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. I've never
Yeah.
really looked at it kind of hard. I've been to your firehouse. I've never really looked at it that closely. So, but I know commercial stoves obviously are more expensive than standard ones and stuff,
Right.
then, too. So, okay, that's fine, Bob. We can, when it comes. When are you planning on doing this? When are you getting the next one?
It's sitting in the bay right now because
Oh.
it came out of the kitchen that is under remodel right now.
Right.
So it can sit there until you make a decision on what you want to do with it.
No problem. Okay. So, Trustee Murphy, I know you get. I mean, that's his line of work, what he does. and
Absolutely.
we were certainly looking at that. That's all. So, all right. Anything
And
else?
that's all I have, sir.
Okay. Then we'll go to the Police and Traffic Safety Report. Trustee Dalzell?
No report this evening, Mayor.
Okay. Then we'll go to Public Work and Boat Launch. Trustee Juarez?
I have an approval of the January 2022 Public Works Monthly Activity Report. I have an approval to advertise for a full-time position with Public Works in-house for 1 week to fill a vacant position following a transfer from Public Works to Water. That's all, Mayor.
All right. Thank you. Next, we'll go to the Sewer and Water Report. Trustee Nava Esparza.
Thank you. I have, excuse me, I have a request for the approval of the January 2022 Sewer and Water Monthly Activity Report. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. We'll go to Building and Health. Trustee Peretta.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a request for approval to have the village attorney draft an ordinance to amend certain business license fees. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Trustee, just before the meeting, I had a meeting with our building commissioner, and what he said, what we didn't have in our last ordinance was a provision on there obviously have basically a penalty for not purchasing your business license on time. Is that true? Is that right, Roger?
That's right. It says fees will be assessed, but there's never been a fee schedule.
Okay, and you're not mic'd up, so fees would, but there's no schedule to say what the fee
That
is?
is correct.
Okay, and your record is what?
As of now, it says as of June 1st. What I would say is as of July 1st, giving them an extra month and then doubling the fees.
So right now, you have to be compliant by June 1, but you're saying, as far as compliancy, you're looking for at least July 1 is when penalties would be assessed?
Correct.
Okay. And your penalty, you're recommending?
Would double whatever
Double the fee?
is.
Okay.
Seems kind of harsh on some.
The language does. That's why I'm repeating it as I'm saying it and stuff then, too. Attorney Kankar, I don't know why I get stuck with trustee, because I'm looking at the trustees all the time. Mike, what do you think? Is that standard?
Yeah, they do. I don't know, double, I mean, that's kind of like with vehicle stickers where sometimes you double them. I don't know what I don't know what I know they charge them a late fee. What it is or what it's based on, I really don't know.
Okay. We can get a survey on this ASAP. And right now, this is just approval to draft an ordinance for these, and we're looking to approve these, board, possibly at a special meeting following our committee next week, because we want to get this out to the business district 60 days prior to the renewal on May 1. And so this week, before we approve, let me do a real quick survey, because this was just brought up to me just this afternoon, and I'll share that with the board right away this week. So we'll talk about it before we approve next week then, okay?
And while we're on that topic, and I apologize for not being here last week, would just like clarification, I've noticed a new category added for liquor distributors, and I guess what makes that different than, say, from wholesale or warehousing?
My thing, it was, when I was a board trustee, when we were in committee, I brought that up, and what I was doing was, when we did the survey with the 4 other communities that we were kind of comparing their fees, many communities just mentioned it in theirs, but that's an actual distributorship where you've got trucks and warehousing and everything else, and liquor sales there, where there's a tax flowing through there and whatnot then too, and that's why I suggested, although we don't have one of those in town, I was just recommending a couple of new, in other words, I wasn't introducing any tax on anything that exists already. This is something that could happen in a new and stuff then too.
Well, I guess I was looking at it as considering we do have a large building over on Central that potentially, depending on how you're looking at it, could either fall under the liquor distributor or it falls under warehousing, and I think we need to be clear
You know what? That's
in
a
the
great
distinction.
point. I totally forgot about him over there. You're right. I guess when you see the word liquor, you don't necessarily just think beer right away. But I was thinking hard.
That was my thing.
You're right. And that was I didn't want to introduce anything that would obviously compromise the relationship that we have with existing businesses. So I personally would like to delete that then, because we are, we're covered through property taxes and so forth on that.
Well, what this would cover would be out-of-town vendors, so they would have to get licensed at $100. This would not include somebody here in Alsip running a business. The business license is wholesale, retail, warehousing, and service, 2 separate licenses. This is like your general contractor's license, ATM, so on and so forth. This list shouldn't be included, meaning if it's a business here, as we're talking about 100 Central, is already included in the retail wholesale.
Excuse me, could you get on the mic, please? Because people are going to be trying to hear you.
Well, I said, and that was my interpretation, is that they would be covered under the top part, but there's no definitions in this next section, so it could be argued that, hey, they only would pay the $100 fee as opposed to the $250 fee.
Yeah, and this, the way that I'm reading it is it's for out-of-town vendors, so that people that are making deliveries for the liquor would get licensed and bonded through the village,
but
not not an establishment that is already here in the village.
So a liquor vendor from, say, Peatone is making a drop in Alsip, they're going to get the $100 fee.
That is correct, and then
Okay.
they would have to give us their license and bonds.
Okay.
But historically, the village has never done that, though, right?
Not to my knowledge, no.
And how would we start policing that now?
Right, and how do we distinguish between any other delivery that, I mean, the supply trucks that are coming into the numerous grocery stores that we have?
Typically, we would have to do our homework for it.
You're going to eat up more than what you're going to get in that revenue.
Trustee Delzell, can I defer to you? I know you've got a lot of municipal background. Do you do that where you, even in some of the municipalities you're familiar with?
I'm not aware of it, and I think logistically, I mean, you go to a grocery store, how many different delivery companies are there for all the different products? We're going to sit there and try to tap into that? Seems,
I don't know that we even
daunting
have,
task.
yeah. That's my point. I was, again, my focus was on somebody establishing a new business here, and thank you for bringing that up, Trustee McLaurin, because I totally forgot about the one that we did. Because I'm pretty versed with most of the businesses here. I just think that's more than what we want to do is chase that. And like Trustee Dalzell said, we'd end up, for lack of a better word, it's like you're staking out the Piggly Wiggly, waiting for somebody to make a delivery there and stuff, you know, so. I'm not doing that.
Have those?
They do,
They
in the
do,
south.
in Wisconsin, you
Is it
know.
like
but-
Moo and Oink?
Yeah, but.
It is.
Those
are still around,
I didn't
too?
want to name any store names, but, yeah, I don't know that we got the timely, our police department's focused on T as opposed to trying to chase a new vendor. Most of the other licenses that we identified with was really just what we currently have right now, and without going through the whole list, these were marginal adjustments, and just only because the board identified, we hadn't adjusted those fees in almost 17 years. So it was time to, I mean, these are $25 in most cases that they're being adjusted, so. Yeah, then it would be we're still drafting this, but I would recommend we delete that particular, what Trustee McLaurin brought up.
Then I don't need to pull that anymore.
And thanks for doing that too, Christine. Like you said, that's fair, you know, so. I'm sorry, Trustee Peretta, anything else?
That's good.
Then we'll go to Human Resource and Insurance. Murphy?
No report tonight, Mayor.
All right. Joyce, you look like you had your answer coming back.
It is 3 residential buildings, 12420 Gaslight Square, 3840 Gaslight, and 12319 Bank. So it's all Heritage 2, and it's the common areas of those buildings.
So just the common areas, and the clerk is writing these down too. One more time with what the address?
12420 Gaslight Square, 3840 Gaslight Square, and 12319 Bank.
Okay. All right, thanks, Joyce. We'll go to special committee reports, economic development, Trustee Navas Garza.
I have no report this evening, Mayor.
Okay. Next, village properties, Trustee McLaurin.
I have no report this evening, Mayor.
All right. Ordinance and legislation, Trustee Peretta.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a request for approval to have the village attorney amend ordinance number 2017-11-1, section 12-807, license fee for video gaming. And that's all I have, Mayor.
I want to bring up real quick, let me get this up on my screen here. I do like these digital things. We've got 134 pages on this week's agenda. Just to make sure we're all on the same page with this, that's all. So in your packet, I gave everyone examples of what other communities are doing with regard to video gaming, and I just want to reiterate the way this wording would be on this ordinance is an annual license fee for each. I just want to make sure all the board is in agreement with this, because certainly this is a board decision. an annual license fee for each video gaming terminal on the licensed premises of a video gaming establishment shall be $1,000, the cost of which shall be paid equally by the licensed terminal operator and the licensed gaming establishment. The village shall issue a decal or sticker for each licensed video gaming terminal to the licensed terminal operator that owns or operates the video gaming terminal. This decal or sticker must be affixed to the licensed video gaming terminal in a conspicuous place and must be kept on the device during all times the device is in use. No refunds or partial refunds of annual fees shall be given by the village in the event either the licensed terminal operator or the video gaming establishment ceases operating any or all video gaming terminals, or in the event the video gaming terminal fails to operate. In other words, it's there for a purpose to show that they did pay a tax on that. And then it's just optionally, that's what I put on there. If anybody wants to exercise this, please let me know. Please let us know. The annual license fee for a video gaming establishment licensed to locate, maintain, or operate a video gaming terminals at its premises shall be $1,000, and the cost of which shall be paid by the licensed terminal operator. The owner of the licensed video gaming establishment shall not be required to pay the annual video gaming establishment fee. So in other words, the first reading that I made there is just simply, right now, the village charges $500 per machine. It's otherwise known as a video gaming terminal. Should the board agree to adjust this cost, it would go to $1,000, which would be shared equally between the establishment operator. If the board wished to impose a tax on the operator of $1,000 for each establishment they are represented at, they're able to do that as well. Because again, all we're doing tonight is approving the, having the attorney draft an ordinance reflecting what we're talking about. So what are we approving here? Are we approving just the $1,000 on the machines, or does the board wish to include the $1,000 to the operator as well?
I personally don't want to increase it to the businesses in town, to assess it to their gaming terminal providers. I'm not adverse to that, but
I would agree. I don't want to impose any more on the operators. Am I saying that right?
No, you mean the establishment.
The establishment. If it's going to be shared with the operator, then I'm all for it.
Of doing just the first part? Of
Yes,
just
the first
going
part.
to $1,000 to it?
First part, yes.
Okay. Trustee McGuire, how do you feel about it?
I mean, now that we have the opportunity to actually bill the operator, I'm almost feeling like I'd like to give a little bit of a break to the establishment and say maybe make like a 40-60 between establishment paying the 40% and the operator paying 60%.
Can that be done?
I don't know. Vince handled this, and Joe, I'm not too sure, but I don't know if you can do anything but an equal.
Okay. Well, I know that was part of the discussion last week, and I didn't hear a definitive answer
No.
what the split was defined as.
according to the statute, it said equally.
It is equal.
That's what I
Okay.
thought, yeah.
Yeah, so you're really,
Okay.
and right now, the establishment itself is who's being billed for this? This?
And I know, and their percent of it.
So, no, that doesn't change. Their side is staying where it's at the 500, but you're adding 500 to the operator. And the only reason, again, for the benefit of the folks that watch these videos, the only reason that this even came up the board doesn't even have to take action on that this year if they don't want to. I mean, this is, the only reason I'm bringing this up is because just recently, the state of Illinois approved these changes. So if the board wishes to defer a year, you can. Nobody said we had to do it this year,
No, I'm definitely in favor of adding an additional fee onto the terminal operators. I'm just hoping to...
And again, we're not just pulling these numbers out of the sky. We had, at least a couple dozen examples of what other towns are doing, so we're just trying to stay competitive to what other communities are doing.
You still could do what you want to do by reducing the fee from 500 to 400. You're going to have 400 to the business, 400 to the operator, so the net effect is that you're increasing the revenue to the village, and you're giving some relief to the business owner.
Which is, well...
If that's what you wanted to do.
Listen, I'm just in thinking that I know majority of the establishments where these terminals are located, I mean, have taken a very hard hit because of COVID. And I just thought, a little bit of relief might be a nice thing to do.
It's fine. And again, nobody said we had to do this evening. If the board wants to table this for more discussion and more dialogue, that's fine too. But I just wanted to bring it to the table to see if the board wanted to make any adjustment at this time. We're not pressed to do this. There's nothing that's mandating us to do this right now and stuff then too.
Yeah, but like you said, I mean, if we want to get this in place, if the new licenses go out.
Well, because that was Roger's concern as well. If adjustment, this has to follow the license fee thing at the same time, because it all goes together. So when we get, if you folks want to think about that, when we get down to our consent agenda, let me know if anybody wants to pull that. We can talk more about it then too. I just want to bring that up so everybody knows what we're talking about. Thank you. Next, I'm sorry, Trustee Perry, anything else?
That's it, Mayor, thank you.
Planning, zoning, and licenses, Trustee Juarez.
I have an approval of a list of licenses dated January 31st, 2022 through February 11th, 2022. I also have 2 notices of public hearing. The Planning Commission will hold a public hearing for case number 2022-03-Z-100-S-600 on Wednesday, March 9th at 7:30 p.m. here at the Village Hall. And case number 2022-03-Z-100-S-600 is for zoning change and special use R1 to a B1 business, special use, mixed use, property located at 11512 South Pulaski Road in Alsip. And the other is a public hearing case for 2022-03-S-500 here at the Village Hall, March 9th at 7:30 p.m. And for that case number, it's a special use gas station from a B1 business to a B1 business special use, property located at 4511-53 West 127th Street, Alsip, Illinois. Any parties wishing to be heard will be given the opportunity to do so at that time. That's all, Mayor.
Okay. Thank you. Did anyone have any presentations, petitions, or communications? One thing I wanted to share with everybody, I had a discussion with some of our Cook County Commissioners last week, and just let everybody know that Alsip was re-subdivided with the county. I was talking to a couple of the commissioners, actually even again today, with our state rep and senator over when they were here. It used to be that we were north and south at 119th Street with the 6th district, and the 5th district maybe at the time. I'm sorry, the 11th maybe. And now they just redid the maps, so the new district borders now separate us north and east and west rather. So now the line is actually Cicero Avenue. Everything west of Cicero Avenue is actually the 6th district, which is Donna Miller is our Cook County Commissioner on that side. Everything from Cicero Avenue east is the 5th district now, and Commissioner Sims is retiring this year, so there's an election coming up, and there's going to be a couple of somebody new running for that position. But I just want everybody to know that Alsip is divided differently. Like I said, it used to be the line was 119th Street north and south. Now it's Cicero east and west. So You learn something new every day. I was talking to Trustee Navas Barza. She called me Friday. I'm like, she goes, you know about this? I'm like, I knew they were changing it, but the map I got pushed like the 11th all the way up to 127th. Now they backed it off to 111th Street and stuff then too. But that is the official map. I called and confirmed it real quick and stuff
Got
too.
it.
So,
Okay.
but thanks for sharing that too, Carolina. I mean,
problem.
things happen like this all the time, and it just like anything else. Nobody's calling us local guys to tell us all the time what they're doing in that yet too. So, thank you. And did anyone wish to remove anything from the consent agenda?
How about items H and L, Mayor?
Okay. Okay. Can I get a motion then to establish the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call number 1 to establish agenda.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez. Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Trustee.
Yes.
Trustee Navas Barza.
Yes.
Trustee Peretta.
Yes.
Motion carries to establish consent agenda.
And just for clarification's sake, under letter I, can we change submit to draft?
Right.
I changed it in my notes already,
Okay.
so it'll get changed.
Can I get a motion and a second, please, then, to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call number 2 to approve consent agenda. Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Navas Barza.
Yes.
Trustee Peretta.
Yes.
Motion carries to approve consent agenda.
Okay. Next, we had the, I'm sorry, did anyone have any unfinished business?
Well, we got the 2 items, Trustee Dalzell.
Two items were
Oh,
pulled.
I'm sorry, you're right. And I got my notes right in front of me. We'll go back to the 2 items that were pulled. First is letter H, approval to sign up 3 properties for the community solar project to save up to 20% on electric. Trustee Dalzell pulled that, but before we discuss anything, do we have a motion and a second to approve that item? No? Then that motion dies for lack of a second.
Mayor,
Or a mo-
I just pulled it for question because we addressed it, Joyce had addressed some things, and we moved on. I just got a couple questions about it. I'm not opposed to it.
Mhm.
I'll make the motion once I can figure out something,
You can make the motion, absolutely.
But he said once he figures out something.
once I figure out something. I'd just like to have discussion on it.
All right. All right. Typically, we always try to find, obviously, discover if this motion's even alive before questions. But
Mayor, I
as
would
a-
like to make a motion to approve this,
Okay.
I'll second it.
All right. Thank you.
but I'd like to talk about it.
Absolutely. That's. I just want to get to the discussion part. I just want to know if there's any
Beautiful.
teeth in this thing. That's all.
Okay, Joyce brought out that there's 3 locations and it's common areas. As we're discussing this, I believe that I too had the same belief, 2 clubhouses and maintenance garage. I'm just kind of confused that we've got 3 locations and you're saying it's common areas, but all of our locations have common areas.
I know, Roger and I were just having that conversation. I don't know why these particular properties fall under the 100,000 kilowatts,
Right.
but they do.
So, and I don't know if there's just, I'm not opposed to saving money, and I kind of fancy the idea, but I'm just trying to figure out why it doesn't apply to all the other buildings,
I don't know.
and are we shooting ourselves in the foot with all the others, or?
No, not at all. We can sign those up at any time if we can get them under the $100,000, or 100,000 kilowatt usage.
Right.
We can get them on this program.
Roger, are these buildings smaller than most?
No.
They're bigger than.
24 units.
I would say, because they all look the same to me when I go over there,
Right.
yeah. But, like you said, only 3, that's a great question. I mean, only 3 qualified, though, huh?
Yep.
I was puzzled just as much.
Okay, I mean, so.
Joyce, is
different
this the
bulbs?
only, I don't want to, I certainly, I mean, I appreciate your hard work looking at this, but are we absolutely sure none of the others qualify?
This is according to Molly. Molly looks at our bills.
Yeah.
I have not gone back to look at our bills. I'm sure Roger and I are going to be looking into it
All right.
as to why these other buildings don't qualify.
I just want to make sure it wasn't, hey, you already made an application, so the other 40 properties you have are...
No. These are individual applications for each of these properties.
all right.
They are separate accounts, so.
Yeah, obviously, these are separate, obviously, but, I mean, and these are power that they're getting this?
It's a solar provider that's, we get credits because we sign up for this, because a certain amount of that power is going to come from a solar farm.
Right.
So it's not that we're using solar, we're using credits.
We're purchasing credit from them.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
That's a great question. Like I say, like I said, when you said 3 properties, I'm thinking our facilities.
Me too, that's what I
know,
thought too,
and-
but no, it's residential's.
All right. But as Trustee Dalzell said, it's kind of hard you would saving money, especially 20% of the electric bill on that thing, yeah, too. Ballpark, do we know what that bill is?
It's 20% of what we owe the provider. We're
Right.
not talking 20% of
Of
the
the bill.
total bill. It's with the 20% off the provider's credits that we get. So it's not a huge amount of money.
No, I was
but
just going to say it's marginal, but I get it. I understand the concept. All right. Well, thank you, Trustee, for bringing it to. So did anyone, wait, we had a motion and a second. Any other questions on this? All right. Why don't you call the roll? Yeah.
Roll call number 3 to approve item H. Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Navas Barza.
Yes.
Trustee Peretta.
Yes.
Motion carries to approve item H.
Thank you, everybody, and thanks for Joyce for breaking that out for us then, too. Next, we had approval to, letter L, approval to have the village attorney draft an ordinance to amend certain business license fees. And again, it was just pulled by Trustee Dalzell, but before we discuss, did we have a motion and a second to approve that?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Trustee Dalzell, do you have a question on that?
Yeah, the point that Trustee McLaurin brought out, and you talked about removing, so are we going to make those edits prior to giving it to the attorney?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and I actually made a note on mine yet, too, that...
And then to Roger's point, with regards to a penalty provision, is that going to be part of this ordinance?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not in favor of doubling, because the rates go from $50 to like $1,000. I'm comfortable with $100, but I'm not comfortable with $1,000.
Oh, no, understood. And trustees, what I'm going to do this week, because I was on the licensing, themselves, until I was told this afternoon about the penalty. So I'm going to spend tomorrow and the next day putting together a quick survey for everybody. And before we approve this next week, I will share that with everybody, and we'll agree on what the penalty would be.
Okay, yeah, because I completely agree with Trustee Dalzell. 100% is too much.
Certainly on ordinances, we can amend that on its face to say, like, what that penalty is, that's all. Okay. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Can you call the roll, please?
Roll call number 4 to approve item L. Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin. Trustee McLaughlin. Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Navas Barza.
Abstain.
Trustee Peretta.
Yes.
Motion carries to approve item L.
All right, thank you. All right, we'll go back to, did anyone have any unfinished business? Any? I need to return to a closed session to discuss collective negotiating matters between the body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2, Chapter 2. Can I get a motion and a second?
Motion to adjourn to closed session.
Second.
Roll call number 5 to adjourn to closed session. Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Navas Barza.
Yes.
Trustee Peretta.
Yes.
Motion carries to adjourn to closed session.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to adjourn a closed session. The time now is 8:20.